broadcast, why Mayor Villaraigosa is lobbying against Proposition 32. That's the political contributions by payroll deduction measure. Our Conan Nolan's going to break down both sides of that issue. 20 days now and counting till Election Day, and among the most expensive ballot measures put up before California voters is Proposition 32. Over $50 million has now been spent to defeat the measure. NBC4's Conan Nolan is in our newsroom. Conan's about to tell us about the measure and the controversy here. Conan.
That's right, $20 million at least spent in favor of it. Now expect to see a lot more commercials on this one. Conservative groups and others are backing Prop 32, which they call a political finance reform law. But organized labor is spending millions to beat it back, saying the measure will silence workers when it comes to politics.
Today in East L.A., labor leaders joined by the mayor of Los Angeles lashed out at what they say is public enemy number one on the November ballot.
Prop 32 isn't reform. Prop 32 is a fraud.
Proposition 32, the so-called Paycheck Protection Initiative, would prohibit corporate and union political contributions to state and local candidates, bans contributions by government contractors to politicians who award their contracts, and bans businesses and unions from automatic deductions from a worker's paycheck for political purposes. Former State Senator Gloria Romero is with Democrats for education reform.
It cuts the money ties that have contributed to the dysfunction in Sacramento.
Romero denies 32 is targeted specifically at labor, but admits it will impact their clout.
It actually gives the power to the individual worker to decide for himself or herself how they wish to contribute to political causes.
Unions argue such a restriction on efforts to raise money and to spend it on campaigns would result in a tilt in power to corporations, whose officers, as a result of a U.S. Supreme Court decision, would still be allowed to give countless sums to political action committees, and thus would silence labor's voice and not that of business. Maria Elena Durazo of the L.A. County Federation of Labor.
Who's going to speak for workers across California if we don't have an organized way to get $1 per month from several million workers? If we can't do that, if Prop 32 passes, we are shut out of the process.
Now, backers of the measure include the California Republican Party, Democrats for Education Reform, which has been particularly critical of the teachers' union in the state legislature and their clout. Opponents of the measure include the League of Women Voters and Common Cause. I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News.